But
Absolutely.
it's not just SRT. There were some other
No.
features added to this firmware update as well.
This update 4.12 was really all about bringing more modern streaming protocols to the forefront. So SRT is probably the most exciting, I'll be honest,
Sure.
but we also added HLS publishing and MPEG-Dash publishing. Again, HLS is great, originally invented by Apple, but starting to be leveraged for a lot of other things, including contribution, partially due to its reliability, although it has very high latency in comparison to something like SRT. MPEG Dash was essentially an open sourced competition to HLS in a lot of ways. It delivers very similar capabilities. But we're starting to see more and more CDNs move away from RTMP and RTMPS for a number of reasons. Either, the distaste for flash-based technologies, which RTMP is,
Sure.
just due to its age and limited functionality with new demands and new needs of streaming protocols.
Right.
And so we need new protocols in order to get to the next level. And HLS, Dash, and SRT can all do that. And so which ones a CDN will adopt, time will tell. Some of the bigger social media platforms, I would say, are definitely looking more towards things like HLS and Dash.
And I think one of the reasons that our dealers like offering Epiphan products is your ability to stay on top of all of these different formats and to kind of keep the ball moving forward, but still update your products. Even if we go back to the comparison chart to show that SRT capability built into the original Pearl, that is a great reason that our dealers are establishing relationships with the customers that they're selling these Epiphan video products to.
Making sure we have that flexibility now, offering RTMP and RTMPS as we have for quite some time, but the additions of HLS, Dash, and SRT just really opens it up. At some point, they're going to be replacing these older protocols.
Right.
And some of the things that have been improved across all of them is things like, improved network compatibilities in order to get through firewalls, which can be really important for the live event space where they might
Yep.
be in hotels or conference centers, and trying to work with the IT teams of those locations is a challenge at best. And sometimes they just can't do what you're asking in terms of firewall and port manipulation. So making sure we're moving in a direction where the protocol means we don't care is is a big step forward. But multilingual support, certainly here in Canada where I am, that's kind of a big deal. And it's becoming a big deal in the US and all over the world, especially in public sectors where it's becoming legally mandated for either multilingual or closed captioning. And again, these are things that were not built into the older protocols, but are being included as kind of native technologies in these newer protocols. The other one, of course, is DRM.
Yep.
That was actually the primary driving factor probably for Apple to create HLS in the first place,
Go
was
figure.
DRM control. And again, probably most people don't care about that for the majority of live streaming, but I think at some point in the future that is something that'll be a bigger deal as we, move into a more cord-cut world where things are more online and more content is needing to be protected online. I think DRM is going to become a bigger deal.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. And I think we've seen that just over the last few months with content producers or musicians trying to get their sound out there without any distribution model available to them other than live streaming.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've kind of mentioned this many times when we're talking to customers is they want to be able to stream things like music on social media platforms, but the robots that essentially control content management and DRM don't know. They just get flagged automatically.
Right.
And part of that is because we don't have a way of setting a flag in the old stream protocols to say, no, I actually have rights to this.
Yes.
And so building that technology in going forward is going to be a really big thing for those kind of content creators.
Absolutely.